Dignitori. Dignitori. Spiritual. Spiritual. By making our children to understand that speaking their own native languages is a must and not. Shut up and sit down. Where is that vernacular prefect? Can I have the names of vernacular speakers? The names of vernacular speakers, Nwanko Anna. So you are the only person who has refused to heed to this instruction. It is either English or nothing in this class. Any vernacular will be treated. Come here. Come here. Lie down here. Lie down here. Hey! Sit down, everybody. Yes, can someone read what I just wrote on the board, please? Yes, officer.
The importance and the power of a mother's tongue.
Clap for him, please. So, can someone give us an examples of the importance and the power of your mother's tongue, please? Yes, you, barrister.
Sir, we need our mother's tongue so that we can easily get a chieftaincy title.
No, that's wrong. That's wrong. Anyone else, please? Yes, you. No, that's okay. Thank you. So, we have two types of the importance and the power of your mother's tongue, which I'm going to write on the board. Okay? So, repeat after me, please. Dignitori. Dignitori. Spiritual. So I'm going to start by explaining the number one, which is the dignitary importance and the power of your native languages. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So when you hear dignitary importance and the power of your native languages, what it simply means is dignifying the strength of your native languages. And as for we, the African students, if we must be taken serious by the rest of the world, we must push our African native languages beyond borders. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you?
But sir, how can we push our native language beyond borders?
Very good question. So, we can start doing that by putting a high value to all our African native languages, by making our children to understand that speaking their own native languages is a must and not optional. And again, by forcing all our children's schools never to allow any of their students to graduate without passing their native languages. Just the same way they do when you don't pass English language, for example, in Nigeria. You're not going to graduate. You're not going to graduate. No matter how many other subjects that you pass, you're not going to graduate without English language. So we can start by applying such level of importance to our own native languages. And we as parents can also help by speaking our native languages to our children at home. At least we can start from there. For example, now you can barely see any of these presidents of the powerful nations of the world like Russia, China, Japan, North Korea, etc. You can never see any of their presidents speaking any foreign languages. They don't care if you understand it or not. If you don't understand it, you can hire an interpreter to interpret their languages for you. Do you know why they do so?
No, sir.
Do you know why?
No, sir.
Because they themselves understand the dignitary importance and the power of their native languages. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Any question on that?
No, sir.
So we are going to move on to the number second, which is spiritual. Spiritual. So when you hear spiritual importance and the power of our African native languages, what it simply means is spiritual strength. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you?
Can you give us one of the examples of spiritual strength?
Okay, so sit down. So one of the examples of the spiritual strength is prayer empowerment. When you are praying to your God with your mother's tongue, you are communicating directly with all the prayer lifting forces in your lineage. But as an African man, when you are praying to your God with a foreign language, you are directly or indirectly leaving all these prayer lifting forces in your lineage discommunicated, because they don't understand that language. Especially those ancient ones, they don't understand any language, be it English, French, whatever. They don't understand them. So An African man who is praying with his own mother's tongue is just like a man who is sleeping with his wife with a raw manhood. Why an African man who is praying to his God with a foreign language is just like a man who is also sleeping with his wife but with what I call a tripled condomed manhood. Repeat after me. A tripled condomed manhood. And these two men are all expecting one prayer from God Almighty, which is giving them a baby through their wives. So our assignment today is going to be between these two men I just mentioned. Who do you think that is likely to impregnate his wife first? And why do you think so? But before we call it a day, I have some very serious announcements and decrees to make. John Paul Christopher, where are you?
Yes, sir.
You are the vernacular prefect, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now listen to me. From today going forward, I, Ashilipata Ifadigo, hereby bans anything that is called vernacular prefect. Listen. And such useless position hereby ceases to exist. And I, Ashilipata Ifadigo, hereby reappoint you as my personal Bawine prophet. So what this means is that from this day going forward, that no man, no woman, I repeat, no man, no woman anywhere in this world has the right whatsoever to inflict any pain on any African child simply because he or she has spoken his or her own native language. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.